Hiya! So we're back with a brand new season of Doctor Who, which means I'm back with brand new reviews of Doctor Who. Being in Australia, I'm about 12 hours behind on watching Doctor Who, and being me, I'm uploading this a day late because that's just how I roll. So let's get on with the review, shall we? I wrote a lot of notes on this one. Probably took away from my concentration of actually watching and sitting back and enjoying the show, but I don't really have time to watch it twice, so that's just how it's going to be. So we're reviewing Doctor Who, The Bells of St. John. I hope it was called that. Unless I stuffed up the titles, which I do sometimes, so fingers crossed it was The Bells of St. John. So I didn't really understand why you'd click a Wi-Fi thing that you didn't understand or weren't trying to connect to. Like, usually when you're searching for Wi-Fi, you know what you're searching for. And I know that everyone's keen for free Wi-Fi and unprotected Wi-Fi, but like, it's a bunch of symbols. I wouldn't click it. And in a lot of those like snapshots, they didn't even have like a signal, so why would you click like signalless Wi-Fi? I thought it was kind of a weak starting off introduction montage kind of thing, and I thought that no offense to that actor, but it was bad webcam footage and bad quality engagement of character. Like, just don't click it. Like, really, I mean it. Like, just don't. I wouldn't listen to him. And evidently a lot of people didn't, but it was written that way and it was probably not the actor's fault. I'm going to go with the writers on this one. No offense to the writers, I just thought that that was an unnecessary scene. You could have set it up a whole different way. I don't know how I would have set it up. I'm not saying, oh, I'm so amazing, I could write it better. I just would have done it differently. So I felt like the whole everyone's face being on little TVs and being trapped in it was very much reminiscent of The Idiot's Lantern. In fact, I would say that I felt like this whole overall episode was kind of like a patchwork of many other Doctor Who episodes. So that really for me didn't sit well. I didn't feel like it stood on its own ground. I liked the faces in the introduction and the galaxies. It was very hipster Tumblr, like in that moment we were infinite kind of thing, and P.S. I don't like that book, but it was that kind of like Tumblr-esque galaxy kind of thing that I found was funny and also quite cool, really. Him dressed up as a monk to me had like the headless monk throwback of the season 6 finales, or last few episodes. I really don't know. I should probably check my facts before I start these videos. Oh well. You get me rambling, that's what you get. The Summer Falls book title did not look like something Amelia Pond would have written, though I did think it was cool that Amy Pond got a reference in there. They keep dragging her back in, which is quite cool. He spoke differently, the Doctor spoke differently on the phone when he was speaking to Clara than he would usually speak, so that was kind of random. But hey. It's like when he was being the Wi-Fi, like, yeah, but did you like definitely click on the Wi-Fi thing? That was a terrible impersonation. But yeah, he just spoke really randomly and very casually and kind of jumped accents. It was a bit weird. I really freaking hate the Doctor Who joke thing. Like, stop. No more. No deal. No. Please, just stop writing that. Just get a new joke. It's just like Community over and over again, like Changing it up. At least they acknowledge that Chang is a terrible pun maker and now the Dean is doing it, but that's not the point. That's like, I know you're just trying to do the tongue-in-cheek poking fun at yourself thing as well, but it's just really lame. It's not even a good pun, and I like a good pun. So that will forever be my main gripe with the show at the moment. What else do I have written down here? I really loved the colour scheme of the whole episode. I was really big on the cinematography of it. Like, if I could take anything away from this episode, it would have been, I really liked the cinematography, like the transition between when he tried on his new coat, to like putting it on, to him suddenly standing up and being all dressed, and then like when they ran through the TARDIS to get onto the plane and it transitioned through the TARDIS door, through the aisles and then straight into the little captain's room. Like, I thought that was really cool. I really liked the colours in the house. There was really nice lighting. Like, it kind of, the typography going across the thing was reminiscent of Sherlock and The Matrix, and it was just really beautifully filmed. In fact, while we're going on highlights, I think I really love the idea of the whole breakfast. We're in a time machine, we can go anywhere for breakfast, because like breakfast is my favourite thing. And also motorcycles are one of my favourite things. So 2 of my favourite things in Doctor Who, which happens to be one of my favourite things when it's going well. So like, way, favourite things. Yes, that was great. And yay, there was fezes. There was 3 fez sightings? I don't know, but there was fezes, and you know, fezes are cool. So the whole face thing turning around and erasing people not only reminded me of the Idiot's Lantern with the pictures, but also reminded me of Silence in the Library where the faces were put on the stone thing, and I was just like, can we please get some original concepts up in here, or at least better ways of rehashing old ideas. Just think of it. If it looks like something you've already done in the new Who generation, then don't do it, unless you have good reason to. And I couldn't think of a good reason. I thought it was quite props to the actress who plays Clara. I've forgotten her name. I'll remember it, maybe. Terrible with names. For when she died and she laid with her neck, that was really uncomfortable. So she stayed like that for a while. Good on her. That was some solid acting effort. That would have been awful. So my hat's off to you. I thought it was, when the doctor put all the little stuff on her nightstand, it was really cute. And I was like, oh. But it was also very Amy Pond when he was looking after little Amy. So I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of similarities between Clara's meeting the Doctor and Amy's meeting the Doctor, and I mentioned this last time and it still keeps coming back, so hopefully Clara will just break away soon and be on her own, which she started to do towards the end of the episode, which I really liked. She reminds me a bit of Christina Ricci, to be honest, and I really like that as well because Christina Ricci is amazing, so yeah. When the Doctor licked and smelt the leaf, it reminded me of Littlefoot from Land Before Time with the whole star leaf thing, so that was probably random and irrelevant, but it totally reminded me of that. What else did I say? I thought it was quite sweet how the Doctor was like, I'm looking after you, you can go to sleep now, you'll be safe now. But I was also like, whoa, that's kind of creepy, he's camping outside his house. And Clara was like weirdly cool about that. So I was like, stranger danger, Clara, stranger danger. And then she went out and had tea with him and I was like, really? But then when he invited her into the TARDIS, she was all like, oh hell no. So I guess she has boundaries, which is like good, but still weird, stranger danger. Kind of, but then I guess all the companions have just run with the Doctor. All the companions just run with the Doctor, so. I loved the whimsy of certain aspects, like the whole breakfast thing, and when they were on the motorcycle and he said, I don't like the idea of taking the TARDIS into battle. She's the most powerful spaceship and she could fall into the wrong hands. Again. Except, he totally does take the TARDIS into battle. He takes it into every battle. He and Sexy like joined at the hip. I thought that was a really random comment. And also, leaving the TARDIS means she's more susceptible to being like attacked by weeping angels, for instance. They had the TARDIS, you know? And that didn't make a lot of sense to me. I just was like, that was a throwaway line that wasn't well thought through. It's one of those things that was like canon for one episode, but not for majority of the previous episodes and future episodes, so right. There was double the Doctor again, so Matt Smith I think had the most clones of himself as the Doctor. There's like Doctors everywhere, man. The snowman guy's back, so what's that all about? I'm sure we'll find out in the future. But it's cool to have an overarching plot already so early on in the game. Mad props to the Harry Potter actress whose name has left my mind, but she's Una from Bridget Jones, I know that. She deserves an award for that final scene where she was being the abandoned child. That was A+ acting. Like, I'm being genuinely serious. That was amazing. So hooray for her. And I also loved that Oswin. This will probably be my last comment, but at the end of the episode, even though everything was neatly wrapped up and a lot of the episode didn't really make sense, I liked that Oswin said, come back tomorrow and I'll see if I want to go on an adventure with you. I liked that she actually stopped to think about it, because in all honesty, I don't know if I would just run away with the Doctor. I would need to sleep on it. I know, it sounds crazy, but having watched the show and knowing what happens, there'd be a lot of hesitation, man, because stuff goes wrong all the time. So I really need to think about it. And on that note, that's it, really. So things in favour, yay motorcycles, yay breakfast, yay talented Harry Potter cameo actresses. Hopefully Clara will be coming to her own awesome companion self soon, and Yay for bow ties still being cool.